I'm going to begin with a brief overview of Copilot and Microsoft 365 Copilot free to begin with. In front of you now on the screen is a comparison of Copilot licensing, the free versus the premium. You'll see here that they've noted it's a £19 per user per month cost for Copilot. But it's actually available slightly cheaper with a 15% discount for charities as well. They've just brought out this monthly pricing, so please feel free to get in touch with us if you'd like a little bit more detail about how this can be a cost-effective solution for yourselves. And most important takeaways here are that the free version is very basic. It's limited in what it can achieve. So it's mostly a text-based system, can do some image generation as well. But you won't be using the latest AI language models, especially not during peak times. You'll have limited usage of the Copilot voice. You won't have any access to the new AI features. You won't have early access to those. And you'll only get the possibility to create 15 images a day versus the 100 that you would get with the paid for version. It does work across multiple devices still, and there is an awful lot you can still do with the free version, some of which I'm going to touch on shortly. But you'll see here that you're not going to be able to integrate it within Microsoft 365, so it's not going to work within your applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so on. Outlook, for example. You can create content with it, but it won't write the documents or create the documents for you, and it certainly won't integrate very well with Outlook. So, yeah, the paid version is certainly something to be considered for all of the extra enhancements. But let's start with a quick look at Copilot free. So bear with me a second. I'll bring this up for you. So I'm using an in-private window here because I'm logged into the premium version of Copilot in my regular browser. But this is the very first thing you'll see when you visit Copilot, and it's accessible through copilot.microsoft.com. And you can just click the accept on the terms and click get started, and it will ask you your name. Oh, give it my name, and then you can also choose a voice as well. You may not hear that here, but it's giving me an example of a voice there as well. So Copilot is an AI-powered productivity assistant designed to help you with a wide range of tasks. The free version is web-based, and the paid version integrates seamlessly with 365 applications like Word, Excel, and so on. So looking at Copilot free to begin with, it's quite a powerful tool, and it's designed to enhance your productivity and streamline your work at no additional cost. So here are some of the key features you can access with Copilot free. So for example, you can begin by allowing it to assist you in drafting emails. So it's excellent at text-based tasks and can do things like help you draft emails quickly and efficiently. And for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm actually going to be working on an example. Let's say we're starting a new mental health charity today called Hope Horizon. That's a name that I had AI generate for me while I was doing my prep work. So Copilot can assist in creating professional emails to potential donors and partners, as an example. It can also generate documents, so Copilot Free can help you create a variety of documents from detailed reports to meeting agendas. Imagine you're preparing a quarterly report for Hope Horizon. Copilot can organise your data into quite a clear professional format, ensuring that all necessary information is included. It can also help draft policy documents, volunteer handbooks, grant applications, and quite a few other things, that making it a lot easier to keep your operations running smoothly. And then lastly, and it's something Adam will certainly touch on more with the ChatGPT side of things later, but Copilot is also a really versatile tool for creating engaging and creative content. So for example, you can get it to help you generate eye-catching and compelling posts to keep your followers engaged. You can ask it to help you craft well-written, informative newsletters. You can develop innovative fundraising ideas using Copilot's free tool. You can have it brainstorm and plan events, including writing speeches, creating promotional materials, and drafting invitations. You can even have it write impactful stories and testimonials that highlight the work that your charity does and the people that you help. So for this demonstration, to begin with, I'm going to ask it to write an email for me. So I've opened up Copilot Free here, and we're going to see how it can help us create an email for Hope Horizon. And we're going to imagine we're starting this new charity and that we need to draft an email to potential donors. So I've opened up the browser, I've navigated to the Copilot Free interface, and the first thing that I'm going to do is give it some context. Now I don't have to, and during all of my testing and prep work, the responses without providing it any context were still really powerful and very useful, but it's always helpful to give it some context. So a little bit like Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. Here's a prompt that I created just to give it some context. So it starts with keep the following for context, and it to explain a little bit about Hope Horizon and what it is that we do as an organization here. So I'm going to submit that to the free Copilot. And it says, it's understood. You can count on me to keep Hope Horizon's missions and goals in mind. So it's keeping all of this context now in mind for the later questions that I go to ask it. So the next question I'm going to ask it is to draft an email to potential donors for the new mental health charity Hope Horizon. The email should introduce the charity and explain its mission to invite recipients to support the cause. Again, I've already created this prompt, so it's just going to be a copy and paste. I'll pop that in here for you and I'll submit that, and you'll see here that it's already gone and drafted an email for me, and it says, "Dear recipient, we hope this message finds you well. We're excited to introduce you to Hope Horizon, newly established mental health charity dedicated to making a profound impact on the well-being of individuals and communities across the UK. At Hope Horizon," and so on and so forth. And it's quite a detailed email. It's got really fantastic wording, all very professionally written. And you can obviously go in and tailor this where necessary, or you can ask Copilot to make amendments just by requesting those here within the chat box. So yeah, really quick way to start an email. You could even paste a previous email in there and ask it to draft a response to that email. So it is really, really powerful. So that was just a real basic use of Copilot free, but we can enhance on this, and we can now ask it to also create documents for Hope Horizon. So now that you've seen Copilot generate some text, let's do something even more useful and create a mission statement and a strategic plan for our new charity called Hope Horizon. All using Copilot free. Again, this document's going to outline our goals, strategies, and the impact we aim to achieve. So I'm still within the free interface here, and I've already provided context to it. And I'm going to let it generate this document for me. So my prompt here, again, already made, is create a mission statement and strategic plan for the new mental health charity Hope Horizon. The document should include an introduction to the charity, fundraising goals, strategies, and the impact we aim to achieve. So I'm just going to paste that here into my chat box, and I'm going to submit that. And you'll see it goes away and has a think about it. And it very quickly comes back with a mission statement and a strategic plan. And it's got an introduction, the mission statement, then the plan itself, fundraising goals, fundraising strategies, impact we aim to achieve, monitoring and evaluation, so on and so forth. Now, if I was using the paid version, I could actually ask it to generate this in the format of a Word document, and I could download that document and then start to work on it. And it's a really nice way to smooth the transition over between the AI and your actual document and editor. But in this instance, because it's the free version, I've actually copied and pasted this information that I generated previously into a Word document, which is stored in my organization's SharePoint. Now, this is really important to remember, that if you are going to use Copilot to manage documents or to help you with documents, they need to be stored in OneDrive or SharePoint where Copilot has access to them. So I've already gone and copied and pasted that text and saved this as HH mission statement document. So this is some of the this text-based generation and some image-based basic image generation is about as far as you can go with the Copilot free version. However, what I'd like to do now is demonstrate some of the paid features so you can see if the product is a right fit for your organization. So next, let's explore the paid features of Copilot on Microsoft 365. And this offers advanced functionalities that can help further enhance your productivity. So some of the key features here would be priority access to the latest AI models, which I mentioned previously, enhanced image generation with the latest version of DALL-E and much faster and more accurate image generation with up to 100 priority images per day. And then for me, the most important enhancement is the integration with Microsoft 365 apps. So premium users can utilize Copilot directly within Microsoft 365 apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. And this includes features like converting Word documents to PowerPoint presentations and generating summaries, for example. You can also add custom GPTs, so Adam's going to touch on that with ChatGPT shortly, but it's very similar in Copilot. You can set some parameters prior to even using it so that it starts off with an understanding of what you're trying to achieve. And then obviously Copilot Voice, you get the full version if you get the premium as well. So for my demonstration, what I'd like to do is create a PowerPoint presentation from the fundraising bid that we've just created, from the document that we've just created. So we're going to create a PowerPoint presentation from the mission statement and strategic plan document. This presentation will help us communicate our fundraising goals and strategies to potential donors. To speed things up, I've already taken that text, as I showed you, and I put it into a Word document, which is called HH Mission Statement, and it's located in my organisation's SharePoint. So the next thing I'm going to do is navigate to Copilot Premium, and I've already got it open here in a tab. And you'll see that it's slightly different looking to the paid version as the free version, in that it's got a lot more context here. It actually understands a little bit more about my working environment, and it's built into Microsoft 365, so all the rest of Microsoft 365 is readily available at my fingertips as well. You'll notice that you have the option to switch between work and web, which is really important here. If I am switched onto the work mode here, it will have access to all of my documents, all of my emails, and I can ask it questions about these things. And it will go away and look at our environment and what we've got as an organization. If I switch it over to web, it will also include results from the web. So that's really interesting to know. You can work on Copilot in a private scenario where it won't share that data. It's in a work environment. Right, so to generate my PowerPoint presentation, I'm going to ask it to create a PowerPoint presentation from the HH mission statement. So I'll start by popping in my prompt here, which I've already created. And you'll notice the /HH mission statement. The / means I'd like it to bring a file to its attention. So I'm actually just going to delete that so I can start to type it here, and you'll see it brings up a list of contacts, but also files as well. And I can go, here's my HH mission statement. So I'm now going to say create a PowerPoint presentation from the HH mission statement document, and I'll submit that. Now, if all goes well, and we have varying degrees of results when we do live demonstrations, as always, but it's gone away and it's given me a breakdown of what that document should look like. And it's actually given me a Word document as a result, which isn't really what I wanted. So what I'll do is I'll demonstrate this within PowerPoint instead. I'll bring up PowerPoint here, and you'll see that this is a new PowerPoint slideshow with nothing in it. And I have the option here to go to Copilot at the top right hand corner, or I can also access it from this little button here, and I can say create a presentation from a file. So funny enough, in my testing, when I did create a PowerPoint presentation through Copilot's web interface, it worked, but you can see they're constantly changing things, and these things are always being developed. So there may be a better interface to do it within PowerPoint now, which is again something that you would only be able to do with the paid license. So it's another reason to consider that. But you can see here I'm immediately given the prompts to create a presentation from a file. I can select that, and I can choose my HH mission statement here again. You can see here it's now generated the prompt to create a presentation from HH mission statement, and I'll submit that, and it's going to go away and have a think about it and generate a presentation for us. It's normally relatively quick, and you can see here it's starting to give us a breakdown of how that presentation is going to look. It's going to have an introduction, some fundraising goals, some fundraising strategies, awareness and outreach strategies, service provision strategies, impact goals, and a conclusion. Telling me it's almost there, so we'll give it a couple seconds longer, and there we go. You can see it's now created the basis of a presentation for me based on that Word document. So all of the content, all of the sections within this Word document are now going to be within this presentation, and you'll see as I click through, all the contents there. And really fantastic addition is that it's added speakers notes to this as well, which gives me something to hit the ground running with. I can then go and amend those notes, and I don't ever have to start off from a blank canvas. But you'll see it's really quite smart how it's worked. And actually I've created 4 or 5 of these now in my preparation for this, and each one of them has looked and feel very, very different. So it has got incredible flexibility when it comes to the styling, but it is actually also prompting you to take a look at Designer, which is another element of Copilot and uses AI within the Designer tool. So if I click on Designer here, you can see, let's pick a slide actually that's probably a bit better than the index one. We'll give it a second. Let's close it and open it again. Designer. There we go. So you can see here it's given me various ways in which I can lay out this page. Some of you may already be using this tool within PowerPoint. But here is the content, and I can now decide, actually, no, I want to lay it out like this, or I would like to lay it out completely differently. So there's a really fantastic ways to very quickly improve your presentation's layout of each slide in particular. And then go back to Copilot here. I can now do things like insert slides as well. So another prompt that I've created here is insert a slide with stats on UK mental health and well-being. So I'm just going to prompt it here, and I'm going to say insert that prompt in the chat and send. And you'll see it goes away, has a little think about it, does some research on the web, it does some research on the documents that I've got in 365 and this Word document that I used to generate this in particular. And now it's going to produce a result for me. So you can see it's included a slide, it's got some useful graphics in it, and it's got some stats here actually that approximately 1 in 8 children and young people in the UK have mental health disorder. So it is really clever, and it's gone away and added some real value here to that particular slide. I can then also add additional slides. So I've got another prompt here for add a slide on the importance of mental health support and what it can achieve. I'll just paste that in here. And again, it's going to go away and generate that slide for me. So you can see it's really quick, and you can amend slides and change parts of slides or add new content to your documents really easily. And there's the new slide that is just created for me. So it's really easy to improve a presentation. We've demonstrated that now, creating the content for the Word document and then generating a presentation from that. But let's try something slightly different now. Let's use this as a basis now to create an annual report for my charity, Hope Horizons. So based on this document here, I'm now going to give it a prompt, draft an annual report presentation for my charity, Hope Horizons. And I'm going to submit this prompt, and you'll see that it's going to firstly tell me you haven't saved this document. Now, if I click yes here, it's going to overwrite this document. For the purpose of this example, I can do so. I have an option to say no thanks and to save it elsewhere, but let's replace, because we've got no need to save this now. And you'll see it goes away, and it's now going to create an annual report for Hope Horizon. So not only have I generated a document based on the Word document I've provided, but now I've gone and created more documents based off the back of the presentation it's also created as well. So one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you've got a fantastic set of documents to work with and a really good foundation to begin working in this instance for Hope Horizon. So you can see here it's created an annual report completed with some animations as well. Interestingly enough, it's kept a very similar look and feel to previous, but you can use Designer to change that. And you can see it's got charity overview, about Hope Horizons, accomplishments, number of people helped, all of these things that you would think to be useful in an annual report. And it even goes through to some of the financials as well, I believe. So really, really lovely way. And again, it's just at a click of a button. I haven't had to do much legwork here. It's done it all for me. So those are a few examples of how Copilot can work within PowerPoint, and of course using a Word document as well. But now, provided we've got a little bit of time, I'd also like to show you how Copilot can work in Excel. And this one has proven a little bit trickier in my demonstration, so hopefully it works okay for you. But the first thing I'm going to do is visit the Copilot web interface here. And I'm going to ask it to generate a spreadsheet to help me track donors to my charity. Now, obviously, most organisations will have more advanced systems than just using a spreadsheet, but we're looking at something just to begin with here. So I've created a prompt, create an Excel document for tracking donations made to Hope Horizons, and I'd also like it to include 100 sample donations using real names and include totals and formulas, ensure the donations are in British pounds, and include columns for gift aid, email addresses, marketing opt-in, location, and anything else I should be tracking. So you see that's my prompt. I've given it there. I'm going to submit that now, and it's going to go away and create an Excel spreadsheet for me. So you can see it's having a think about it here, and it should ideally generate the Excel spreadsheet. It does say here that it's going to provide the Excel spreadsheet shortly. And in the interest of not waiting, I think what will happen is previously it's asked me would I like to download it or email it, but it can take a moment. But in the interest of not waiting, here's one I made earlier again. Bear with me a second. Might be a moment, just opening up. Brilliant. So you can see, I'll just drag this over to the correct screen. There we go. You can see the spreadsheet that it's created. It's given me donation IDs, a donor name, date, amount, gift aid, email addresses, whether they've opted into marketing or not, and then some notes as well. And then it normally includes a total at the below here as well. And that is, it also includes the formula to calculate the total, probably the easiest formula you could do in Excel, but it does include that for you. So you can see it's gone and created a spreadsheet based off of my notes, and it did allow me to download that previously as well, but this time it's obviously looking to generate it. It's going to take a little bit longer. But now that I've got that data, I appreciate we don't have an incredible amount of time remaining, but now that I've got that data, I'll show you what you can do with that. So I can ask Copilot here now to analyze the donor data for Hope Horizon and provide insights on the donor demographics, donation patterns, and potential areas for increasing donations. So I'll send that through, and hopefully it knows. Based on the donor data for Hope Horizon, here are some insights on donor demographics and donation patterns and potential areas of interest. And you can see it's given us some really fantastic stats here. So geographic distribution, the majority of donors are located in urban areas with significant concentration in London and other major cities. This suggests that urban populations are more engaged with Hope Horizon's mission. Age groups, donors are primarily in the age of 30 to 50. Genders, it's given donation patterns and frequency and amounts and payment methods and potential areas for increasing donations. And you can see where this would all be really useful if you were looking to analyze some of the data that you have in your spreadsheets. So yeah, I mean, that brings me to the end of my demonstration of some of the features of Copilot free and paid.